I'm just a background NPC at this fancy academy. I do whatever. Until one day. At the party, the main character, this scholarship student all dressed up, accidentally bumped into Fu Xian, the leader of the F4. He looked up at him, all defiant. I said my line. Oh my god, they're about to kiss. Is Prince Fu falling for this scholarship kid too? Then I saw Fu Xian turn and stare right at me. He grinned and walked over. You sound so excited. Wanna try? Then he grabbed my head and kissed me. Wait, why aren't you following the script? I woke up. Turns out the world I'm in is a BL novel called All the Big Shots at the Academy Fall for me. The novel's about Su Yukyu, a scholarship student at this academy, and the F4 at the top of the pyramid, Fu Xian, Pei Jingchuan, Jie Shiyan, and Jiang Moji. Su Yukyu's the only one brave enough to challenge the F4. His arrival caught their attention fast. Day after day, the F4 are moved by Su Yuki's toughness, bravery, and kindness. They start to see him differently. They fall for him. Then a series of rivalry dramas unfold between them. As for me, Nanqi, I'm just a nobody NPC in the book. A background prop. When the plot kicks in, I automatically say lines and do actions. I exist to set off the main characters. To make them shine. I let out a breath, lost and confused. Thinking back to when I arrived at Ashworth Academy, I really did do a bunch of weird stuff. More like, whenever I met Fu Xian and the others, I'd lose my mind, go crazy. Like I lost my soul, turning into some obsessed fan. All my attention was on the main characters. But I have my own life. I shouldn't be revolving around others. My phone buzzed. I opened it and saw messages from a group chat. The group's called Young Master Fu's School-Wide Fan Club. Oh yeah, I'm even the vice president. I tossed my phone aside with a headache and flopped down, pulling the covers over me. This is too much. I'll sleep on it. I'm done with this nonsense. I'm staying away from them. That night I had a weird dream. In this huge white space, a little fairy-like thing appeared. When it saw me, it suddenly headbutted me. In a childish voice, it complained, "What's wrong with you? You can't break control." I rubbed my head. Maybe because it's a dream. It didn't hurt. Then I looked at it weird. What the heck are you? Guan, I'm not a ghost. It huffed and circled me. I'm the World Order officer. I'm in charge of the novel world. All the big shots at the academy fall for me. You're just an NPC. How did you suddenly gain self-awareness? You have to follow the plot. I snorted. Why should I? No way. The fairy panicked, jumping around. No, that'll mess everything up. I acted stubborn too. No. I want to be myself. After a long silence, the fairy flew up to my face and stared at me. All serious. Then let's use your world's currency as payment. As long as you follow the plot. Every time you complete a task, I'll pay you. I scoffed. I'm not the type who's into money. 100,000 per task. I changed my tune. Deal. It was a super real dream. When I woke up the next day, I remembered every detail. I decided to test it, see if the fairy's promise was real. My family's not poor, but we're not super rich either. The company only got on track in recent years. Mom and Dad always want the best for me, so they sent me to Ashworth Academy. The tuition here is crazy high. For my family, it's a big expense. If that fairy's telling the truth, I can make tons of money and ease the burden on Mom and Dad. A powerful plot force kicked in. Right when I walked through the gate, I heard engine sounds getting louder. I turned and sure enough, saw 4 flashy, different, colored sports cars speeding by. NPCs like me automatically lined up in 2 rows. Watching the cars zoom off, we gasped in unison. I took a deep breath, eyes sparkling like before. I said my line smoothly. Oh my god. Young Master Fu got another car. That color's sick. Done. Easy. I'm a pro at this by now. In the classroom when I opened my phone, I saw a bank alert, 100,000 deposited. It's real. And instant. I'm pumped. Looking at my phone's wallpaper, this hot guy, I suddenly thought, I wonder if the fairy can hear me. I thought to it, I didn't even change my wallpaper. That counts, right? If the F4 were a boy band, my bias used to be Fu Xian. I saved tons of his photos. Yeah, he's still good looking. But I don't have that weird obsession anymore. Right then, another 100,000 deposit notification popped up. I grinned like an idiot. This fairy's legit. So from then on, I worked hard as a proper NPC. One day, I was heading to the cafeteria. Passing by a garden on campus, I spotted the 4 of them chilling in a pavilion. Looked like they were talking about something. I smoothly pulled out my phone to take pictures. After framing it carefully, I snapped a few group shots and some solos of Fu's sign. I posted the group pics in the Ashra 4 Princess chat. Caption, got them. All 4 young masters are in a good mood today. Posted the solo shots in the fan club. Caption, another day, a Prince Fu being flawless from every angle. Once I sent them, I got tons of replies popping up fast. Right then, I heard footsteps getting closer, like someone was coming toward me. I looked up and saw Fu Xian standing 2 steps away. He's so tall, I had to tilt my head up a bit to see him. That handsome, striking face showed no expression. He looked down at me lazily, those deep eyes unreadable. Just standing there, his vibe was so intense I flinched. I immediately dropped to my knees to apologize, stammering sorry. Then, I lowered my head hard, staring at the ground, muttering, "Save me, save me, save me." His deep, magnetic voice spoke. "What are you sorry for?" I lowered my head more. "For secretly taking your pictures." Then he reached out. I quickly handed him my phone. Fu Xian opened my camera roll, scrolling through the photos. I looked up, sneaking glances at his reaction. Then I saw Fu Xian's expression shift slightly. He glanced at me. "Not bad. Pretty good shots." Of course. I couldn't help but smirk a little. All this time, I've mastered top-tier photography skills. So many legendary shots of the F4 were taken by me. My skills rivaled the pros. Fu Xian handed my phone back. He didn't even delete the photos. He just said calmly, "Don't do it again." I nodded quickly, "Okay." I turned off my phone screen and put it in my pocket. I was about to say bye and leave. Then I heard a loud, clear male voice behind me. "What are you doing?" I turned my head slightly and saw the main character, the scholarship student So Yukyu, who just arrived at the academy and already made waves. He walked right up and stood in front of me. His face full of anger, he stared fearlessly at Fu Xian. He said righteously, "Just because you're rich, you can bully people." Then he turned to me, looking confused, and said, "Don't be scared. I'm here. I won't let you get bullied anymore." Me? I got bullied. How come I didn't know? Before I could speak, he turned back to Fu Xian and said loudly, "Apologize." Fu Xian looked down coldly. He ignored Su Yukio and looked at me instead. Eyebrow raised. "I bullied you." I snapped back. Time to do my dumb fan NPC duty. So I stepped out from behind So Yukio and jogged over to Fu Xian's side. "Chin up, Prince Fu didn't bully me. You're just some random scholarship kid talking nonsense." So Yukio stared at me in shock. His expression quickly turned to disappointment and pain, like I'd done something unforgivable. "You," he trembled with anger, fists clenched, looking at Fu Xian. "Fine. I was meddling. Happy." He turned and left. Passing the pavilion, he saw the 3 guys inside watching the drama with smirks. He stopped and said to them, "I won't bow down to your tyranny." I watched Su Yuki walk away, totally confused. Sure, what I said was harsh, but Fu Xian really didn't bully me. Why Su Yukio acting like I betrayed him? I shook off the thought and decided to leave too. But Fu Xian was looking at me with this thoughtful expression. Why does he keep looking at me today? Did he notice my insanely handsome face and feel threatened? I thought random stuff. Felt awkward just leaving without a word. So I smiled at him. "By Prince Fu." Then I left the garden. I immediately spread the word in the group chats that Fu Xian caught me and said no more photos. I announced my retirement. Amid everyone's wails and pleas, I said I'd never disobey Prince Fu. I was done being an F4 photographer. Honestly, it suits me fine. I didn't want to do it anyway. Too much work. Perfect excuse. I'm out. And I'm out for life. I've been raking in cash lately, so I decided to treat myself. The school cafeterias have tiers. I usually eat at the regular one. Today I'll splurge. I'm hitting up that fancy restaurant where it's like $1,000 per person. First off, the decor is super fancy. It's on the top floor with a panoramic skylight. The floor-to-ceiling windows show most of the campus view. Since it's not meal time, there aren't many people. By the window, a holographic menu scrolled slowly on the glass. I stared at all the fancy dishes, spacing out. What should I eat? The $980 seasonal mushroom pasta or the $1088 truffle foie gras toast? While I was deciding, I heard a lazy voice behind me. "Hey, which line are you in?" "Hold on. I'm not done with my rhyme yet." Interrupted. I just moved aside a bit. Whispered, "Sorry." Then I kept chanting in my head, "Eeny, meeny, miny, mo." Soon I saw a familiar figure in front of me. Turns out the guy who just spoke to me was Fu Xian. I didn't react at first, froze for a sec, then remembered my mission. Gasped, "Wow, it's Prince Fu." Fu Xian's face was blank, but his eyes showed barely their exasperation. "You got lag or something?" His lips parted. "Also, my dad's not the emperor. Who made me a prince?" I said quietly, "Everyone calls you that." Fu Xian laughed. "Fine. Is you ordering or not?" Worried he'd think I was slow, I stepped up and randomly picked a pasta. Right as I was about to pay, a hand with defined knuckles reached out. Fu Xian paid for me. I turned confused looking at him. "This one's on me," he said. "Thanks for the good pics." Me huh? Eating this overpriced but average pasta, I felt bored. Fu Xian's actually pretty down to earth. My fun college life continues. I still run into the F4 all kinds of ways. These guys wander around campus every day like they have no classes, causing chaos. I'm still the same hardworking NPC. Only when I'm totally wiped out from coursework and assignments do I occasionally take a break. That day, I went to the library. While looking for books, I ended up in a more hidden area. Voices arguing pretty loudly drifted over. Is messing with some ordinary person really that fun for you, Jiangmo? That was Su Yukio's voice, full of anger. What's your deal? Pushing my patience over and over again. The guy let out a cold laugh. Su Yukio, if that's how it is, then deal with the consequences. The voices got closer. I tried to leave, but it was too late. I ran right into Jiangmo coming around the corner. He saw me, face totally calm. He said coolly, spread the word. Give Su Yukio a yellow card. What am I, some royal messenger? Now he's got me passing messages. Before I could say anything, Jiangmo glanced at me and left. Right behind him came Su Yukio. Seeing me, he stopped. His eyes were furious. He bit his lip and spat out. You're just their lackey. Those four devils. Why hang around trash like them? Be careful, or you'll get burned. Then he stormed off too. I stood there holding my book, totally exhausted. Talk tough now, but in the end he'll be dating them anyway. I hadn't told anyone yet, but news about Suyuki getting a yellow card spread through the academy. This isn't written in the student handbook. A yellow card is a warning and a mark. A red card is the final judgment. With a yellow card, Suyuki would face isolation in public. Limited resources and information blackouts. No idea how Suyuki ticked off Jiangmo. Plus, I remember, in the original novel, Suyuki's first yellow card was from Fu Saiyan. Why'd that change? I didn't think too much about it. I quickly forgot about the whole thing. Soon the academy hosted a huge banquet. As vice president of Fu Saiyan's campus fan club, I had an invitation. Plus this clearly had tons of plot stuff happening. I figured I could easily make $1 million. So I went, super excited. I even bought a really nice fitted outfit. The party was lively. Food everywhere you looked. I grabbed a little cake to eat, and gossiped with classmates nearby. Since the conversations all centered on Fu Han and his 3 friends, I finished my tasks perfectly. They made their grand entrance, pushing the party vibe to its peak. Fu Xian was cool, Pei Yanchuan elegant, Ji Xian gentle, Jiang Mo charming. People were gasping left and right. I shouted along a few times too. Pei Yanchuan spoke briefly on behalf of the student council, then told everyone to keep enjoying the party. The 4 split up to go do their own thing. I finished my cake, and kept wandering the hall. Until I heard some commotion nearby. Soyuki had bumped into Fu Saiyan. I shuffled over and squeezed to the front for a better view. Turns out Soyuki accidentally bumped Fu Saiyan while holding a drink. Wine soaked a huge patch of Fu Saiyan's chest. Fu Saiyan grabbed Soyuki's arm, looking kind of angry. His expression darkened. Soyuki bit his lip and looked up at him stubbornly. You suddenly came at me. If you can't watch where you're going, don't blame me. That's what he said. Fu Saiyan frowned and slowly moved closer. But weirdly, he stopped quickly. A flash of confusion crossed his eyes. I was staring so hard, I almost forgot my line. Oh my god. They're about to kiss. Has Prince Fu been charmed by this special admit too? As soon as I said that, Fu Xian turned and looked right at me, staring hard. Then he laughed and walked over. You sound pretty excited. Want to try it yourself? Before I could react, he leaned down close, cupped the back of my head, and kissed me. Warm pressure on my lips. Even though it only lasted 2 or 3 seconds, I felt like my soul got yanked out. If not for people around me gasping, I'd think I was dreaming. Wait, what just happened? Why didn't you follow the script? I stood there stunned, totally lost. Then I heard Fu Saiyan say, "What's your name?" Oh crap, did I piss him off? I was about to cry. I quickly explained, I wasn't shouting, just talking normally. He paused, then asked again, "What's your name?" Oh, so that's what he meant. I answered honestly, Nanshi. Right? He said, Nanshi, come with me. Need to discuss something with you. My heart jumped to my throat. I nervously followed him. We arrived at a spacious, clean, fancy room. Looked like a lounge. My mind raced. Was this scene in the novel? Calling someone away in front of everyone to be alone? Nope. So this whole situation is super weird. While I was overthinking, Fu Xian got closer. As he came nearer, I reflexively covered my mouth. Sorry. The guy's lips curved into a tiny smile. He said, without much sincerity, I was impulsive. Just now. That was my first kiss. You don't seem happy about it. Fu Xian raised an eyebrow. Don't you like me? I opened my mouth, not sure what to say. While I was speechless, the guy leaned down and looked me in the eye. He said, Nanshi, you seem very special. Like, super handsome. Of course I didn't ask that out loud. Just asked curiously. What do you mean? He smiled faintly, but didn't explain. His next words hit like thunder. Be with me from now on. Nanchi, how about being my boyfriend? My eyes went wide. After a long pause, I managed to say, Are you drunk? Fu Xian was serious. While I was still confused, Fu Xian dropped another bomb. The world we're in is just a novel. I stared at him, eyes huge. You know too about the novel. He chuckled. So you really do know. The sprite in my head screamed like crazy. We're screwed. Totally screwed. Then it just disappeared. Wait, it just left. What about the $10,000 tasks? Then Fu Xianyang was pretty open with me. He realized he's a character in a book, but some force makes him follow the plot. Until one day he discovered, when he's near me, that force stops working. So that's why he said, I'm special. Makes sense now. If you agree to be my boyfriend, he said, in return, I'll agree to all your reasonable requests. He paused and added, I can't stand dealing with arrogant idiots. He meant So Yukio. I was really torn. I asked slowly, so if I say no, will you give me a yellow card? Fu Xian said, I don't do boring stuff like that. Then, he smiled without warmth. If you don't agree. We went back and forth for a while. In the end, I agreed. But when he asked what I wanted, I couldn't think of anything right away. So Fu Xian waved it off. You can tell me when you think of something. Also, I'll give you 10 million a month. I waved my hands. Oh no, I couldn't possibly. But inside I was thrilled. Next day, I moved into Fu Xian's private place at Ashworth Academy, a 3-story standalone villa. Of course, to avoid getting sliced up, I didn't tell anyone we were dating. But because of what happened at the banquet, everyone kept asking me what went down. I could only make up some story about saying the wrong thing. So Prince Fu got mad and bit my mouth to teach me a lesson. No idea if they believed it, but I sure did. Oh, the bed in the house was so soft and comfortable. Next morning I didn't even hear my alarm. A knock on the door woke me up. Still groggy, I shuffled to the door in my pajamas and slippers. There stood Fu Xian. Seeing me, his expression froze. Then he asked, still not up. I covered my mouth and yawned a little. I don't have early classes today. Fu Xian and I weren't in the same major, so we had different class schedules. You'll starve then, he said. Get dressed and come down for breakfast.
I said, okay.
Getting such amazing food first thing in the morning instantly kicked off my day on a great note. When Fu Xian finished eating and was about to leave, I was curled up on the couch and waved. Bye. Maybe because he had class and I could rest. He seemed a bit jealous. So he walked over and pinched the soft part of my cheek. He huffed. Got any awareness that you're my boyfriend? I blinked confused. Thought about it and said again, bye. Babe. Fu Xian's hand suddenly trembled. He pressed his lips together and let go. He said super fast, see you later. Then rushed out. I was puzzled by his reaction. I craned my neck to look. Thought I caught a glimpse of his ears turning bright red. And the sprite really was gone. No word from it for days. But I felt way more relaxed. I'd already saved up a decent amount anyway. Plus now Fu Xian gives me tons of money every month. As for dating him, I'm not straight anyway. Fu Xian isn't as moody as the novel described. The cold and unapproachable. He's pretty decent to me. Dating someone this hot isn't a bad deal at all. We agreed that while dating we'd spend lots of time together. Fu Xian's exact words were, that thing shows up everywhere like a ghost. I thought he was exaggerating, but I quickly learned he wasn't. Over just a few days, Su Yukio really did pop up several times in ways I never expected. Going to eat, Su Yukio walked by and suddenly tripped toward us. If I hadn't pulled Fu Xian aside, he'd definitely have been hit. Walking by the lake watching swans, Su Yukio came toward us and suddenly yelled, Don't you know not to get so close? You're scaring them. Going to play badminton, we'd see Su Yukio on the next court learning how to play. Fu Xian's approach was smart. Just ignore it. That day Fu Xian came with me to the library to study. I had a midterm assignment for a class. The teacher wanted us to turn in a short paper. Reading articles gave me a headache. I flopped onto the table. Then I saw Fu Xian walking over with 2 books. I put what I learned to use and hijacked. I said seriously, got any awareness that you're my boyfriend? Fu Xian paused, then walked up to me. He reached out and patted my head. Then sat down, pulled me close, and pressed my head onto his shoulder. He tried to comfort me. No rush. Take your time writing. That's not what I meant. His face heated up fast. Even though this was a private study room in the library, with no one else around, I still felt kinda shy. I bumped my head against his neck and sat up straight. I said, Can you write it for me? Nope. He refused coldly. But I found you 2 books. They're related to your topic. Check them out. Okay. I happily took them. So he gone to find books for me. I was just saying that casually anyway. I didn't really want to write it. For me. My thesis writing efficiency really improved a lot. Before long, Fu Xian and I were sharing a room. He said he kept having weird dreams. In his dreams, someone just wouldn't leave him alone. He suggested that if I was around, things might get better. I agreed, half believing it. The day after we shared a bed, Fu Xian firmly said, at his insistence. From then on I moved into the master bedroom and slept with him. We didn't get together because we liked each other at first, but we agreed we were dating. So the things couples do became normal for us too. Over time, people at school started noticing. Nancy, why are you always with Prince Fu lately? Are you too close? Everyone chimed in. Yeah, dude. You can actually talk to Prince Fu that close up. I even saw you two going to the library together. Could you guys really be tight? Hiss. I bit my lip. Oh no, I felt like a fan secretly dating their idol. As I was trying to figure out how to reply, Fu Xian pressed up behind me. I'm talking to you. Why aren't you answering me? I turned to glance at him, distracted. What'd you say? I didn't hear you. The next second, a strong hand wrapped around my waist. Fu Xian pulled me firmly into his arms. His tone carried a hint of jealousy. Lying in your boyfriend's bed and chatting with someone else so intently. I just shoved my phone in front of him. Let him see the group chat. I pouted. How am I supposed to explain this? Fu Xian looked down at it for a few seconds. He took the phone, held down the voice button. We're a couple. Got a problem with that? Fu Xian. Why haven't you left this weird group yet? His drama addiction was acting up again. He didn't know about the 100,000 per time thing. So he thought my knowing everything, but still playing along was just me being theatrical. I thought about it. Yeah, no need to stay in the group anymore. So before anyone could curse me out, I quickly left the group. Then I tossed my phone aside, rolled over to face Fu Xian. This guy was pretty carefree. He didn't even like me but could announce our relationship so openly. As I was lost in thought, Fu Xian reached out and pinched my cheek. He asked tentatively, Are you mad? I looked up and saw the man's face show a trace of disappointment. Do you really not want people to know about us? Not really. I explained instinctively. You're Prince Fu. So many people like you. Fu Yan went quiet. Then said quietly, Call me that again, and I'll turn you into Princess Nan. I panicked, my hands instinctively protecting my boyish dignity. I declared firmly, You can't do that. I'm a guy. Then Fu Xian laughed. He grabbed my face and kissed me hard. A deep, burning kiss, with unstoppable momentum. It swept through every inch of breath in my mouth. This kiss was clearly fiercer than usual. And it lasted a long time. After it ended, I took a while to steady my rapid breathing. Savoring it, I thought he kissed really well. I couldn't help but lean in again, nuzzling his lips, kissing him. Then I got pulled into the arms of a Fu Xian, who seemed to lose control, and he kissed me senseless. That day, Fu Xian and I ate at the school cafeteria. He rarely came to the regular school cafeteria to eat. It's just that there was a noodle place here I really loved. Every few days, I had to come taste it. Fu Xian came with me. Walking into the cafeteria, I clearly felt lots of eyes turning our way, probably all looking at Fu Xian. But I don't know if it was my imagination compared to before. These gazes seemed much calmer. When I got my noodles, I realized there was cilantro in the bowl that I don't eat. I forgot to tell the shopper earlier. So at the table, I carefully picked out all the cilantro from my bowl and put it in Fu Xian's bowl. He didn't mind it. Seeing I wasn't very efficient, Fu Xian also reached out with his chopsticks to help me pick it up. Try it, I urged. Fu Xian obediently took a bite and nodded under my expectant gaze. It's good. I smiled with satisfaction and lowered my head to seriously eat my noodles. Halfway through, I looked at Fu Xian. The meatballs in his bowl weren't finished yet. I swear I only looked for 2 seconds. Then Fu Xian naturally put the meatballs in my bowl. I grinned. I already ate 3 earlier. Actually, I was getting a bit full. Then in one bite I quickly stuffed the meatball in my mouth. Fu Xian watched me indulgently, smiling. Just then, when I casually looked up, I saw Su Yukio standing not far away, looking over here. He was holding a tray, expressionless. His gaze was strangely cold. Pushing down the weird feeling, I looked away and ignored him. Late at a hidden corner of campus, Su Yukio appeared in my line of sight again without warning. That's when I confirmed what I felt earlier wasn't wrong. At the time, the two of us were being intimate. Thinking this quiet, secluded spot wouldn't have interruptions, we'd kiss a little to relax. The instant Fu Xian grabbed the back of my neck and kissed me, out of the corner of my eye I seemed to catch a figure behind the trees in the distance. But the man's tall frame quickly blocked my view. After being kissed dizzy with an unsteady heartbeat, I belatedly remembered and looked in that direction again. But the figure was gone. Fu Xian pulled me into his arms, resting his head on top of mine. His tone lazy. What are you looking at? Nothing. I looked away, feeling suspicious. In the afternoon, Fu Xian had a major class. On my way to the library alone, an unexpected person stopped me. It was Su Yukio. He said, Let's talk. He and I had no connection. I couldn't think of anything to talk about. But looking at his stormy expression, after thinking a few seconds, I still agreed. Fine. By the shimmering lake, the two of us stood facing each other. Soyuki went straight for it. Does stealing other people's things give you a sense of accomplishment? Despicable thief. I was shocked. I shot back though. Slandering people give you a sense of existence. You psycho. Who do you think you are? He stepped forward, a mocking smile on his lips. The whole world revolves around me. You should just do what you're supposed to do. Why be greedy and use dirty tricks to seduce my man? The coldness in his eyes was so thick it seemed solid, mixed with resentment. I was really shocked. But I quickly figured it out. If Fusayan and I were in the same situation, then had Tsuyuki also awakened. But does awakening change someone's personality this much? This Tsuyuki didn't look like the pure, gentle, innocent character from the story. I snapped back, sizing him up strangely. I put on an expression of sudden realization. Fusaya and I being together broke you, ha. Sure enough, his face instantly twisted. You wish. I scoffed twice. He said he doesn't like self-important idiots. Soyuki was so angry his mouth was practically crooked. He said coldly, then just wait and see. I'm waiting to see you crying, after he dumps you. After saying that, Soyuki turned and left. His retreating figure looked pretty flustered. I stood there, with 100,000 questions in my head. That evening when I got back, I immediately tackled to Fusayan. I vividly reenacted it. That legendary kind, resilient scholarship student stood before little Shi, his eyes full of coldness and contempt. Innocent little Chi got pointed at and yelled at. You despicable person. Fu Haiyan frowned as he listened, then said idiot. Then he pulled me into his arms. Did you yell back? Of course. I raised my chin. I made his face twist with anger. Good job, he said. Next time he finds you alone, just call me. I nodded hard. I originally wanted to discuss with him whether Tsuyuki had also awakened. But Fu Saiyan clearly didn't care about him. His hand slipped into my pajama pants. He squeezed the soft flesh on my butt. He said in a low voice, let's not talk about him. Let's do something productive. Something hot pressed against me from behind. I tried to move forward to get away, but the man wrapped an arm around my waist and pulled me back. He lightly bit my earlobe, mumbling, don't be scared, baby. It'll be quick today. I promise. I wanted to cry. But soon my body went soft from his teasing. I couldn't escape. Fu Saiyan, this guy who didn't know restraint. Last time he said that too. My legs and hands were sore for days. After Soyuki made his threats that day, he did something that surprised me. He secretly spread rumors around school, especially to the fan club members, saying I used underhanded methods to seduce Fu Saiyan, saying I betrayed the fan club, basically just stirring up trouble and driving a wedge, trying to get everyone to turn against me and isolate me. I realized this one day when I was eating alone in the cafeteria. The president of the Prince Fu campus fan club came over with a group of people, looking aggressive, all familiar faces, friends I used to fangirl with. Soyuki was there too, standing up front looking all innocent. The president slammed the table in front of me. Nanchi, so you were playing us all along. I looked up. What do you mean? The president bit his lower lip, heartbroken. We were all quietly admiring Prince Fu together. Then you turn around and get with him. You were clearly playing us. Is it true what Soyuki said? That you used shady methods to seduce Prince Fu? I asked sincerely. Like what? He opened his mouth, paused, glanced at Soyuki beside him, then continued. Like secretly tracking Prince Fu's schedule, then deliberately running into him, doing whatever to get his attention. I answered seriously, nope. He pursued me first. I said, if you don't believe me, wait till he gets here and ask him yourself. Everyone froze. I glanced at Soyuki, who was glaring at me sulkily. I put on a hurt, sad expression. President, we've known each other so long. You know what kind of person I am. If we're talking about someone trying every way to get their attention, isn't it the scholarship student standing next to you? The president was stunned again. I continued, Fu Saiyan and I are dating freely. Does the school have a rule against us dating? I know you're not an unreasonable person, President. Who's really driving a wedge between us? Not hard to guess, is it? The president's expression clearly softened. He seemed somewhat convinced, but still hesitant. But Prince Fu belongs to everyone. Just then, a familiar voice came from behind. Since when? Everyone in front of me flinched. I turned around. Sure enough, Fu Xian had arrived. He just asked where I was, saying he wanted to find me. As Fu Saiyan walked over, I instinctively scooted in, so he naturally sat down beside me. This is lively. The man looked up, his tone lazy. Looking for my boyfriend. What's up? The president stood there, frozen and speechless. Too nervous, I poked Fu Saiyan and whispered a reminder. They got questions for you. Fu Saiyan raised his chin. Go ahead, ask. The president snapped out of it and stammered. Prince Fu, are you with Nanxie by choice? Fu Saiyan shot back. Do I look forced to you? Everyone went quiet. If that's all, head back. The man glanced at me. He hasn't finished eating yet. The president clenched his fists, took a deep breath. Got it. We respect Prince Fu's decision. Fu Xian added, stop obsessing over me. I'm not some celebrity. And keep your distance from the guy next to you. He's got issues. He meant Soyuki. After that, everyone's faces were pretty priceless. Especially Soyuki's. After that day, things stayed calm for a while. Finals week rolled around. Less than 2 weeks till break after exams. I didn't have too many classes this semester, so finals weren't stressing me out much. Taking a break from studying, I tilted my head and rested it on the desk, watching Fu Xian next to me, typing away on his laptop. Sensing my gaze, Fu Xian stopped and looked at me. You hungry? No. He asked again. Want something to drink then? I thought about it. Let's get 2 coffees. Sure. The library had a shop that delivered straight to our room. While waiting, we just sat and chatted. When his 3 brothers came up, I asked what they thought of Suyuki. Fu Xian said he'd warned them. They're not interested in Suyuki now. Kind of annoyed by him actually. The guy's behavior is weird. His stupidity is way too obvious. That was his assessment. Yeah, for real. Suyuki's behavior is super bizarre. Those stage run-ins before were bad enough. Lately he's been even more deranged. Pulling all kinds of shady stuff. Thinking about that, I had a dream that night. That little sprite from before. It came back, all huffy, venting at me. The main god found the problem. The protagonist got invaded by an outside raider, so this whole world's gone haywire. Total chaos. I asked, so what now? Forget it. The main god said forget it. Everyone just lives however they want. Bye, cutie. Good luck. Then it vanished. Later I found out Fu Xian had the same dream. I guess the sprite was telling the truth. Just don't know what this so-called raider's goal is. Finals ended. Break officially started. Fu Xian and I both lived in the city, so we saw each other pretty often. Still, he wasn't satisfied. Said he'd gotten used to sleeping with me and couldn't sleep alone. Without me there, he'd get anxious, restless, uncomfortable all over. My parents were away on business, gone for 2 or 3 months. Just me at home. Figured I was pretty lonely too, so I moved in with Fu Xian. He usually lived alone, visiting home now and then. That night, after all those days apart, we were lying together again. I was lounging in Fu Xian's arms, scrolling through videos, bored. He had his own phone but wouldn't look at it. Had to watch mine. Scrolling to travel videos, seeing those gorgeous landscapes on screen, I instantly got that itch. I want to travel too. Fu Xian reached over and pinched my earlobe. Where to? I thought about it. Snow Mountains. Yeah, sure. Which one? We can check flights right now. Hold on, let me look up some travel guides first. But while browsing, before I'd even decided, I dozed off. Next day, Fu Xian had a banquet to attend. I'd already made plans to grab dinner with friends, so I didn't go with him. Around 8 or 9 that night, Fu Xian called. Started with a low, raspy baby. His tone was part restraint, part desire, part pleading. Just like when he'd do those things to me. I froze. What's wrong? Where are you? Why do you sound turned on? Someone spiked my drink. He let out a heavy breath. Baby, I really need to see you. My heart dropped. I jumped up. Where? Send me the address. Fu Xian told me the hotel name. I said goodbye to my friends and rushed to the hotel. Wait for me. I'll be there in 10 minutes or so. The man's breathing was unsteady. Don't want anyone else. Only you. Fu Xian wouldn't let me hang up. I had to soothe him while heading to the hotel. He really must have been out of it. He started saying dirty things to me. Baby, I miss you so much. Baby, you're so pale. Your waist is so tiny. I can hold it in one hand. You're so sweet. Every time I kiss you, I feel like I'm melting from happiness. Baby, you trembling in my arms. It's so beautiful. Chi, I want to do even dirtier things to you. I freaked out and quickly switched to my Bluetooth earbuds. My face was burning red. Even the breeze couldn't cool it down. I rushed to the hotel, to Fu Xian's room. Got the door open. Didn't see him in the room, at first. Till I heard sounds from the bathroom. I rushed over and opened the door. Fu Xian was sitting in the tub. Looked like he'd taken a cold shower, soaked through. His unbuttoned shirt clung to his skin, showing off his chiseled abs. That substantial thing was pointing right at me. Standing tall. I instinctively squeezed my eyes shut. Phew. With that voice, Fu Xian got up and came to me. Yanked me into his arms and locked onto my lips. After kissing me, he worked his way down, licking and biting my skin. His voice was completely shot. Baby Chi, can I? I hugged him back. Yes, hurry. Any slower and I'm scared you'll explode. You've been holding back forever. Fu Xian scooped me up and carried me to the bedroom. Tossed me onto the bed. Our burning bodies pressed together, tangled. The room filled with gasps and moans. Going on and on. The person who drugged Fu Xian was Suyuki. Men used a heavy dose. My back nearly gave out. Took 2 days in bed to recover. After this, the Fu family had Suyuki locked up. Cut off any chance of him causing more trouble. Now even if Suyuki got close, Fu Xian wasn't affected by the plot at all. Social Yukio's got nothing left. Now the story is completely different from the original. Like the sprite said, everyone who's awakened won't be controlled by the plot anymore. They just live however they want. That day, Fu Xian asked me to dinner, acting all mysterious. Well, said we needed to talk about something. I racked my brain and could only think of one thing. Was he gonna break up with me? He'd suggested dating to escape the plot's control. But thinking about it, that didn't make sense. After that night, he'd been stuck to me like he was addicted. Things had been solid lately, sweet and smooth, no big fights. If he really tried to break up with me, I'd haunt him like a ghost. No way. With that mindset, I showed up, confused. The rooftop restaurant was like a gorgeous island floating above the world. The city outside looked like a framed, flowing river of stars. Fu Xian had rented out the whole place. This beautiful view, this moment, just for us. I owe you a proper confession. That familiar voice came from beside me. I turned to look at him. Fu Xian's expression was impossibly gentle. His eyes seemed to hold a pool of clear, bright water. Chi, I like you. Be with me. Fireworks suddenly shot up outside the window, booming across the sky, blooming into dazzling flowers. Lighting up Fu Yan's handsome face, flickering light and shadow. We'd been together so long already, but I still couldn't hold back how much my heart fluttered. My heart felt sweet as honey. I smiled and nodded, yeah, then threw myself into his arms. We held each other like we wanted to merge into one. The fireworks faded outside, back to the quiet, deep night. Moonlight spilled over us,